Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm going to cut right to the chase here and get to what's on my mind right now and why I am here talking to you. And it's a quote that I've been thinking about all day. I think about it often, but in particular all day today. And I honestly wish I could remember exactly, where I heard it, who said it, but I can't. But it has stuck with me, and it is, one of my favorites. And it's that when we don't put ourselves first, we're teaching everyone else that we come second. And it all boils down to, the idea of self-care and taking care of ourselves before we can really take care of anybody or anything else. Hey Kim, how are you? So, it's the whole idea of the, metaphorical oxygen mask. Put your oxygen mask on first before you help anybody else. So ultimately we have to take care of ourselves first. And when we don't do this, and we're not putting ourselves first, that is teaching everyone else that we come second. And it's not even, in a malicious way that, people aren't necessarily recognizing your needs. We're teaching them that. Our spouses, our kids, our coworkers, our bosses. If we don't communicate our needs, figure out our needs, stand up for ourselves, take care of ourselves, then that's how everyone's gonna, treat us. Like we come second, and ultimately we come first. All of us, we come first. We have to take care of ourselves before we can take care of anybody else, or we end up depleted and resentful. Hey Nikki, how are you? So, as women and mothers especially, we can do it all. Yes, we're all equal, we can do it all. But it's almost this crazy expectation that we can do it all at once, and that we don't need help, and that we can manage everything at once. And if we try to do that, that leaves no time or energy to take care of ourselves. And we get so focused on, living up to everyone's expectations of being able to do it all and handle it all. And yeah, you're gonna end up resentful. And as a mom, I've really recognized the need to take care of myself first. I used to be major people pleaser, and I would never put my needs first, and I never wanted to say no, or I'd do things I didn't want to do, and I was miserable. And after I had Scarlett, I realized how much harder it was, but how much more important it was as well to really figure out what I needed and communicate what I needed and take the time for myself. Because when I take the time for myself, I'm a better mom and I'm a better human overall, because I'm not on edge, I'm not exhausted, I'm not depleted, I'm not resentful. So everything I do is better, and it comes from a place of love, not just for myself, but for everyone around me. And we're lacking that. We're lacking that self-love and appreciation. And when you get to that point, and it's a lifelong process to truly love and appreciate yourself, and every day is different. But when you recognize the importance of it, it's going to go out into every part of your life, and going to affect everything you do on a daily basis, whether it comes to your family, your work, your friends, anything. It's going to be coming from such a different place. Whereas if you don't have that, love and appreciation for yourself, you're not looking at anything or doing anything with love, really, is what it boils down to. And I know it's not always easy to put yourself first and to take care of your own needs, especially, if you have a family or a job or anything really that you may be prioritizing. Hey Cheryl, how are you? I have a toddler. I'm pregnant. I currently wear all the hats in my business. I'm taking an online course. I have a husband who, has his own business and works the strangest, most unpredictable hours that you can imagine. And it's greatly in part, greatly due to his sleep disorder, and it's just kind of what works for him. And ultimately, we learn to work with it. And I still do some hair on the side, for friends, close friends and family, because I enjoy it. So I know how hard it can be to find the time and make the time to take care of yourself. And I never used to do it, especially with my husband working these crazy, unpredictable, weird hours. And what would happen if I didn't communicate my needs or even recognize my needs, I would just get resentful and pissed off that I wasn't getting what I needed, but he didn't know what I needed. And I didn't know what I needed. And I was miserable. And I've since learned my boundaries and how to communicate them. And I've learned that no is a complete sentence, and you don't need to explain to people why you may be saying no to something if it doesn't serve you, if it's not going to get you where you want to go, or if it's something that you're then dreading doing. It's okay to say no. And I've learned that, I don't have to say yes to everything. I don't have to, rearrange my schedule to please others, because ultimately I have to take care of myself. Otherwise I'm going into whatever it is, not my best. And most importantly, I've learned to, identify my needs, prioritize them, and then communicate them to whoever, it applies to. Mostly, a lot with my husband. And that's the biggest thing you can do for yourself. Take the time to identify your needs and prioritize them. Because once you do this, where there's a will, there's a way. And when you can identify and prioritize these needs, you are more likely to actually make it happen and to make it a point to make whatever change you need to your schedule, or make it mandatory to take care of yourself. But until you actually take the time to identify those needs and prioritize them, you're not even going to know. You're not even going to be aware of them, so then nobody else can be aware of them. And again, you're then teaching other people, that you come second. So I've learned I take time for myself, even when it seems like it could be impossible. I take time for myself because it makes me a better human and a better mother, and it makes me approach everything I do from a place of love, whether it's for myself or for somebody else. And it can be as simple, baby steps, it can be as simple as taking 5 minutes a day for yourself. 5 minutes in the morning to just close your eyes, center yourself, breathe, meditate if, that's your thing, and just really start your day a little more grounded. And it can also mean, another simple thing at night, instead of zoning out in front of the TV or watching things that maybe bringing you down a little bit. I know there are certain shows that, make me a little anxious or stressed out. Instead of doing that, try listening to, an inspiring podcast or picking up a new book. I never used to be a big reader, and once I, started to desire to learn new things and all of that and stop zoning out in front of the TV at night, it became enjoyable for me again. And I don't even really miss watching TV because I don't watch too much of it anymore. And again, it's all about making time and finding the time to do things that enhance your life and allow you to take care of yourself and refill your tank and feel like you're approaching life from a very loving state of mind. But baby steps, just try adding little things to your day where you actually feel like you're taking care of yourself and nourishing yourself. Reevaluate some of the I'm drawing a blank on the word, reevaluate some of the commitments that you know, have for yourself and have said yes to, and see if they are in fact what you need to be doing. Because it's okay to put yourself first. It's not being selfish. It's the exact opposite. And again, as mothers, it's hard, you know, especially if you have a newborn or a little, you know, baby. They depend on us and they need us for everything. But at the same time, we have to recognize our own needs as well and ask for help when we need help, and find those 5 to 10 minutes a day to save your sanity. And that's why for me it's so important to work with pregnant women to get ahead of this, to work through all of this stuff that may be holding them back, or maybe, you know, they're so caught up in the taking care of everybody else and just in that mindset that, yes, you know, when the baby comes, I'm going to have no time for myself because that's what everyone says. And that doesn't have to be the case. So for me, it's super important to work with pregnant women and to get ahead of this and to help them enjoy, you know, a less stressful, less overwhelmed pregnancy. So when, you know, the baby does come, again, they know the importance of taking care of themselves as much as they have to take care of the baby. It's a very fragile time, and a time where a lot of women just kind of get swallowed whole into motherhood and, you know, lose their identities and feel like they're losing their identities, and that they now have to wait until, you know, the kids are grown to really focus on themselves again, when we should be doing it right from the very beginning. So if you are pregnant, planning to be pregnant, and you're finding yourself really struggling to take care of yourself and put yourself first and see the importance in it, then please reach out, because that is what I'm here for. And I think it's so important as women and mothers and future mothers to recognize that when we take care of ourselves, we're setting this solid foundation for our families, our communities, for everything. If we're not, we're going to crumble. And since we do carry so many responsibilities, if we're crumbling, then everything else is going to crumble around us. So again, it's not selfish, it's selfless to put yourself first. And remember, when you don't put yourself first, you're teaching everyone else that you come second. And we don't want that. So I hope that you can take a little bit of this, find some time in your day for yourself, even if it's just 5 minutes, and really make the most of it and recognize that you're doing something amazing for yourself and ultimately amazing for everyone around you. All right, so with that, I'm going to leave you, and I hope you have a beautiful evening and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.